actually losing my mind about this winter storm.
Yes, that winter storm that everybody is talking about is probably going to be that bad.
They're calling this winter storm historic.
There's gonna be lots of snow.
I'm scared.
We take this serious. We need to get gas, water, eggs.
Do I need to go get a generator?
Southern states don't get snow and ice like this, like, ever.
I'm Floridian. I don't know nothing about snow. I don't know how to drive in snow. I don't even know how to walk in snow. I don't even think I own a real winter coat.
A massive, dangerous winter storm is moving across the United States right now. And according to the weatherchannel.com, over 230 million people are in its path. Now we're going to talk about what the experts are saying, how TikTok is reacting to all this, and I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of insight on how I'm preparing for this winter storm in Texas. The goal of this video isn't to get you scared, it's to help you get prepared on my Dr. Seuss stuff again. But prepared don't mean panic, because we know how some of y'all get with the toilet paper at the stores.
A winter storm that's coming this weekend, which is looking highly likely to bring like up to 3 inches of ice, which is going to completely knock out the power for like millions of people if what they're predicting is true.
I just want to put an emphasis on the word million. If you want to fight, join the military or become a meteorologist. Because according to the weatherchannel.com, a major, widespread, long-lasting winter storm will hammer parts of the South, the Midwest, and the Northeast. And they're expecting this to be between Friday and Monday, with potentially damaging ice and heavy snow for millions from New Mexico all the way to Texas. And even New England is going to feel some effects of this winter storm. And the storm has been named Winter Storm Fern by the Weather Channel. Now, doesn't that sound like a bitter old cold hag? But I digress. Now, a lot of people are like, we get snow all the time where I live. This ain't a big deal. Well, Fern, with the fitting name, could affect over 230 million people in the United States with snow and or ice. But pay attention to this part right here, y'all. It says 2/3 of the nation's estimated population. That's a lot of people. 2/3 of America affected by this winter storm. Going on to say that it's either heavy snow or ice being forecasted for 33 states. We even see a recent tweet from NWS Weather Prediction Center stating preparations should be completed as soon as possible. So don't wait till it's too late. Also, on the topic of 2/3 of the US population being affected by this winter storm, we have to consider this affecting infrastructure, power, electricity, travel, and day-to-day life and operations for a good majority of the nation. But even though this storm is affecting a large majority of the United States, the South, we're not used to all this. Snow, ice storms. We are not used to the likes of New York, Michigan, Minnesota, wherever else they get a lot of snow and ice at. Houses in the South aren't built like houses in the North. We're not used to dealing with ice. Ice baby? No vanilla? Because that's the only ice we know. Iced tea with some honey maybe? Not ice storm. And for those of y'all who don't know, ice can take down trees, power lines, grids. Our homes are not made for prolonged freezing. Now, winter storm alerts have been issued by the National Weather Service, covering dozens of major cities, including Dallas, Houston, Nashville, Charlotte, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia. Now, the weatherchannel.com goes on to state this: winter storm warning, a high expectation of disruptive, significant snow, ice, and or sleet is to be expected. Power outages are expected and travel will be impossible. Y'all hear that key word right there? Impossible. That's a heavy word. This is why preparation matters, not panic. We got to try our best right now to do what we can control. Now, this map right here is showing at least a 1/4 inch of snow in this region right here, essentially the pink zone. But as you can see, that pink zone or that dark purple zone is stretching out through many states. Now, areas in the darker purple contours may see even higher accumulations that can lead to excessive tree damage and numerous widespread power outages. If you are in any of these areas contoured on this map, I would advise, in all seriousness, to prepare for the potential of power outages that might last days. And this is where storms can get a little expensive, because now we got to talk about preparation, emergency repairs, food loss, hotel stays, travel. Sometimes in life, preparation is cheaper than panicking.
We live in zone 6, damn near Canada. We know winter weather. This is stuff that you can get at your local hardware store. I think you can even get it at Walmart. Here's the box of the heater that we have. This is safe for indoors. Mr. Heater Portable Buddy. I do have one out of the box, and I'll show you that. It is out of the box without the propane attached to it, and you just use those really small propane tanks that you can grab in like a 3-pack from Walmart for $10. Please make sure that the type of heat that you're choosing to warm your house during an emergency is not going to suffocate you. It needs to be indoor safe. Don't be deceived by the name. The Mr. Heater Buddy, that like the top heater that goes on top of a 20-pound propane tank, is not safe for indoor use. I'll show it to you, but I'm telling you right now, this is not the one that you need for indoor use. This is not safe for inside. How long could one of those tiny little propane tanks last? This too, which this end connects to this part of the buddy heater where the propane would be connected. And then it converts this end into a 20-pound propane tank so that it lasts you a lot longer. So we have 2 of these and 2 of the heaters. We would probably have to put everybody in one room and just heat 1 or 2 rooms, but that is currently our plan. Lastly, this is a total non-negotiable for me, and we also have 2 of these, but they're battery-operated carbon monoxide detectors. Don't ask me why there's one in the back room right now, but this was the last place that this one was left. It's battery-operated, so you don't have to worry about if the power's out, but it will let you know if your indoor heating environment is safe. Let me know what else you're doing to prepare for the winter storm, ice storm, snowstorm, whatever it is.
And I'm glad that she added that nuance about the propane tanks attached to the heater, because in most people's brains, their winter storm brain, they're going to be like, I'm cold, I'm scared, I'm just trying to survive. Naturally, they want to be warm. No judgment, totally understandable. But when them lights go out and the heat goes out with it, people start getting creative. They do. Survival mode is real. But propane indoors? Indoors. You can go from, I was just trying to stay warm, to this your last winter storm. This your last night, your last day. And I don't want that for nobody. But she's absolutely right. All of these heaters and propane tank uses are not the same. And I'm glad she showed that, because that might actually end up saving a lot of people. And even when she was showing the 2 propane heaters, they didn't look that different from each other. That's important, because one of them can change your night permanently. So if it doesn't say indoor safe on the label, and even with that, you got to be a little weary, then that as a heating source indoors with a propane tank is not a maybe. That's a absolutely not. That's a no ma'am, no sir. Propane doesn't just bring heat, y'all. It can bring carbon monoxide, oxygen depletion, fire risks, explosions. And carbon monoxide is sneaky too, because you won't even smell it. You don't see it, you just start feeling sleepy. You start feeling a little woozy. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Cold might be uncomfortable, but carbon monoxide is unforgiving. Now, if you have a heater that is clearly indoor rated, has an oxygen depletion sensor and an automatic shutoff, like a valve if anything goes wrong, and you got you a little carbon monoxide sensor alarm, then that's a whole nother conversation. A carbon monoxide detector, when you're using any sort of propane, might be your best bet. That device saves lives. And I know a lot of y'all are gonna be like, I don't have a carbon monoxide detector, I don't have all these other things. Stock up on some blankets, y'all. If you gotta layer your clothes on, do that. You'd be surprised how hot it gets when you got on 7 layers, sweaters, shirts. Pile them on, make a nest, make a tent. Just don't put no candles in the tent. That has a high probability of catching fire. And if you can, grab you some fuzzy socks for all my people who got issues with their feet being cold in the middle of the night. If your power go out, your feet gonna be cold. Layer them socks on too. Heat the toes, save the soul. And I want to make this clear. Nobody is dumb for trying to stay warm, trying to survive in cold weather conditions, especially going days without electricity, water, heat. So if you have any helpful tips, please put them in the comment section, because a lot of people are about to be going through it right now. And this isn't to shame anyone. There's so much knowledge online that if we came together and just dropped our little nuggets in there, you just don't even know who you're helping. We want to keep people warm and breathing. And speaking of sharing is caring, I want to see what the comment says. It says here, we have a buddy heater and we love it, and we use it while camping. I'm telling you, I felt like I was sleeping in luxury. And I'm glad to hear that the heater she was talking about actually works. She's alive to tell us the story. That gives me confidence. Another comment here says, water, then more water. Blankets to cover windows. Yes, that keeps the heat in. Solar generator, ice melt salt. Food you don't have to cook or refrigerate. That is key. Alternate ways to go potty in case the water gets shut off or the pipes burst. See, I love comments like this. Give us some more. Covers for outdoor water faucets. I'm about to go put some socks on mine or something, because microfiber towel or something, because I ain't have enough reaction time time. Anyway, know where your water shutoff is and know how to shut it off and drain pipes if needed. Make sure your weather strips around the doors have a good seal and sleeping bags and even a tent inside of your house for a microclimate. These are some good tips right here. And this comment here has a lot of engagement. Please, everybody, also pick up a carbon monoxide detector to be safe. I agree. Somebody said wash your hair. You do not want to be washing your hair in snow bottled water. Wait, y'all was going out and getting some snow, letting it melt, and then washing it? Oh. Someone here said I have $0. Replied, well, please look up warming centers in your community. So you have this information beforehand. I never heard of a warming center. Y'all are putting me on, but that's probably extremely helpful to somebody. And this comment here says, and check on your elderly neighbors. They might not be able to do things on their own. You might have to help them out. That is true, y'all. Love your neighbor like you love yourself.
I wish I had in the last snowstorm that I'm gonna make sure I have if that storm come to Houston this weekend like it's supposed to. By the way, it's not snow, it's ice. What the hell is an ice storm? Cash on hand. All the ice melts, but there's still no power. A lot of time food trucks will be out and they'll take cash. Last time we were freezing, even covered in blankets. So everybody has those little hooded blankets, the ones you can wear with the hood now. They sell them at Walmart. We got ours offline, but they sell them at Walmart. We got sick of drinking just water. I'm not even gonna lie. So we went on ahead and got some of those little juice packets, you know, little sugar-free juice packets you can put in your water.
Yeah.
Coals, lighter, and lighter fluid. That line to get the barbecue stuff so we can cook the meat before it went bad was like astronomical. We are definitely going to have that ahead of time this time. For your little one, create a potato bed and then put a fort over it with a blanket. Potato bed is basically a fitted sheet that's inverted, and then you're going to stuff it with like stuffed animals and blankets and all this other kind of stuff, and then you're going to put a big blanket on top of it. Basically like a dog bed for a human. The potato bed is warm, and then the fort will keep them entertained if you stick like toys and stuff in there. Did the fort on the very last day for Nixon, and it kept him entertained for hours. And I was like, why didn't we do this the whole time? Can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but if I come up with some more, I'll be back.
The one that really got me having cash, I experienced a hurricane in Louisiana, no power for weeks. Just got back to the States from Germany and was living in a hotel. The hotel ended up running on the generator a little bit later. However, I remember like it was yesterday, the only places that had food, like cooked food, was Domino's. And they were running out of some sort of food truck. And then there was like another food truck that was from a restaurant. Other than that, that was it. There were a few stores open here and there, not selling much. Registers are down. So when it come to it, make sure you go to the ATM before stuff gets real. If it's gonna get real, and it just might. And when she was talking about the barbecue stuff, I'm with her. If you don't have a generator, you got to think about how are you going to cook? What are you about to eat? If you have a generator or some sort of gas-powered grill, you're okay. But you got to think about what is needed to make that grill function. Charcoal, lighter fluid, a lighter. Go get all this stuff right now if you have intentions on using it in the event the power goes out. Because if you ain't got no generator, either your food is going to be cold, and I hope you have some canned goods, or it's going to be spoiled. Now, if you ain't got no canned goods and the power goes out for weeks, that can be problematic. Hint, hint, get non-perishables. And if you get canned goods, y'all, please get a can opener. The electricity going to be out. Thank me later. Now, this comment here says, Cerno for heat and cooking. We had no power for 3 days back in 2021 here in Plano. Somebody here said, I saw a lady say, do your laundry and run your dishwasher so stuff is clean. Yes, if you're gonna be without power for weeks, possibly, do you want your sweaty, musty clothes sitting in the corner in your hamper and you got the privilege of all this electricity right now? You don't know, things can change. Cause what's the alternative? You gonna be smelling your old gym shorts for a week? 2 weeks? Shout out to Texas. We know what happened last time. So yes, y'all, clean your house. You don't need to be tripping over stuff, trying to find stuff last minute. Put everything in a centralized location. In the event the power goes out, you know where to go. You know where your sweater is. You know where your flashlight is, your candles, your lighter, your power banks, your cords, the cat food, the dog food. You need to know where everything is. You ain't got time to be in the kitchen washing dishes. Hint, hint, do that right now. Do that right now, please. Someone here said, what meat is going bad? You can put meat in the trunk of your car. It will freeze there. Really depends on where you're at. Some of y'all live in locations where if you do that, it will stay frozen. However, if the power goes out say over the weekend, but the temperature rises in the next few days, but the power is still out because there could be a lot of factors to why it may not cut on immediately, your food can still go bad, y'all, unless you got a generator. So location, location, location. That might work for a lot of y'all.
As an attorney who spent the 3 years following the 2021 storm working on the wrongful cases here in Texas, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how not to this weekend.
Oh.
First and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. Do not burn anything inside of your home unless you are putting firewood into a fireplace. Carbon monoxide poisoning was one of the leading causes of in the 2021 storms because people were burning anything from actual charcoal grills to even like little handheld devices inside of their home. Even candles can give you carbon monoxide poisoning if you are in a small space that is not ventilated. Another leading cause of 2021 was people who are reliant on oxygen. If you are reliant on an electrically operated oxygen machine, you have to make sure today that you have spare oxygen tanks. Last time, a lot of people lost their lives because even though they were on the emergency list, their homes were still shut down during the outages. However, this time, a lot of those outages are going to be caused not by rolling blackouts, but by actual hardware failure from the power lines going down, and no emergency list is going to save you from that. Now, the good news about the storm this time around is that we're actually only going to be experiencing below freezing temperatures in most places for about 3 days. In 2021, most places were experiencing below freezing temperatures for 5 days. So the occurred strictly due to cold temperatures mostly started to occur on days 3, 4, and 5. Now, as another warning, another thing that I saw a lot of, if you live in a mobile home, if you live in a trailer, if you live in anything like that that is not well insulated, you may consider relocating, if that is possible, to a friend or family member's home that is an actual either house or apartment. As far as what you can do to prepare for the storm, I definitely suggest putting heavy blankets over all of the doors and windows, covering all of the drafts. You want to pick a centrally located room that has like the smallest window or no window at all if possible, and everyone needs to huddle in there. Don't forget to drip your pipes, okay? Because one of the biggest things from the 2021 storm, which will definitely happen again probably by the second day of everything freezing, was huge property damage cases because people didn't run their pipes and their pipes exploded. I would suggest filling up a couple of buckets of water so that you can flush the toilet on a regular basis. Other than that, you just want to make sure that if you are burning anything, please, for the love of all that is holy in the universe, if you are burning anything inside of your home, please be very, very careful. Keep it away from blankets. Do not burn a candle inside of a tent. I'm going to make that clear. Do not burn a candle inside of a tent. You will catch fire. Also, that hack that you see about putting tea light candles underneath a terracotta pot, while it might provide warmth, please only do that for short amounts of time when necessary. It is still going to release carbon monoxide and it will still be hot to the touch. You don't want to accidentally knock that over and light yourself on fire. Yes, these are all things that I did actually see from 2021. I am traumatized from all of the different ways that people managed to lose their life in this storm last time. So please pay attention to my warnings. I'm not just talking, I'm telling you about cases that I actually saw.
Now that might be a little lot for some of y'all, but if it keeps you from giving up the ghost, so be it. Not only that, a lot of these things can cost a lot of money. Like if your house catches fire, you may be able to get out your house. But we want to try to do as much as we can to prevent property damage, insurance claims. Nobody wants to go back and forth with the insurance. You already know they ain't trying to give you they're not trying to give you no money. They know that this storm is here. They are prepared for an influx of people like, hey, I have this going on with my property. This happened. My pipes burst. What can you do? Can you help me? My tree fell through my house. These are going to be things that happen. And it's not far-fetched for me to say they don't want to just cough up the cash. And I know you don't want to deal with them anyway. And no, everything is not avoidable, but just do your best with the circumstances you're given. Little things.
I'm also not trying to cause a panic. Generally speaking, the message of this video is you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Okay? Just don't do anything dumb.
Someone here in the comments says, don't run your car in a closed garage. Should be on the list as well. I know many of y'all are going to say, you shouldn't have to tell an adult that. We're not here to shame nobody. We want everybody to wake up after this. Don't do that. Someone here said, don't let your kids go outside and play in the snow if you have no way to heat them up when they get back inside. Yes, I agree. If your power is already out and you snowed in and it's looking, you looking around seeing the environment, you know what's up. They outside getting sweaty, building a snowman, coming inside and that sweat just sticking to them in the cold. They just shivering, just no way to warm them up. And I know, this is why we're talking about it. It sounds like a good idea until you do it. And what doctor? Because you're snowed in. It's dangerous to hop in your car. And I know, you don't want to be cooped up in there, your kids driving you crazy. Time to bust out a puzzle. Uno, spades, shades. I don't know. But do something safe. Somebody here says, I slept in my closet to keep warm. No candles, just my own body heat and heavy blankets. And you want to know why that might work? It's because a closet is a small enclosed space. And the smaller of a space you can get heat in, the better. For example, if you try to heat up your whole living room, it probably sounds like a good idea to some of y'all, but a living room is an open space. You want to go for a smaller space, but not something where if you knock a candle over because you in the closet, now you got clothes in there, it's going to catch fire. No, don't do that. He was in there with blankets and himself. The body heat was enough to keep him warm in that small enclosed space. She was saying, put a tent in your house. Don't put no lighter or candles inside the tent, sparking it up. Don't do that. It's essentially like when you're camping outside, when you have a sleeping bag. I know a lot of y'all ain't never did that, but I've done it many times. I slept on the floor, slept in tents, and you have clothes on sometimes inside of there. It can get hot. It can get hot without clothes on. I've done it because your body heat is going to make it hot. That's why the closet worked. I just want y'all to be safe. I want y'all to come back, watch some more videos so we can hee and ha in the comments. This is serious, y'all. Somebody here said, cardboard is also a great insulator. You can cut it to fit your windows. Yeah, take them Amazon boxes you got that you ain't doing nothing with. Make something shake. Now we're being thrifty. You see, we saving some money. Now I want to see what y'all buying from the store as far as the food, because I am curious.
If you live in the South, I'm sure you've heard about Snowmageddon or Ice-mageddon heading our way this weekend. So let's talk about some of the food that we got to prepare for that. I stocked up on some fruit. I also got some red baby potatoes that we can wrap in tinfoil and cook on the charcoal grill with some barbecue chicken. As far as cold stuff goes, obviously I didn't get a ton of that because if we do lose power, we won't be in and out of the fridge. I did get milk. I did get some deli meat, some ham, some turkey, cheeses, pepperoni can have his. We have bacon and hot dog and some frozen chicken and hamburger meat in the freezer that we can cook on the charcoal grill. Cooked up on all the non-perishable items.
Smart.
Obviously bread, hot dog buns. We can have hot dogs on the charcoal grill if we lose power. Snacks for my 3-year-old, cereal, which he likes to eat with milk or without milk.
Yeah.
Cheez-Its, applesauce, chips. We have cookies back there, crackers, some other fruit, peaches, oranges, cookies, some goldfish, all the non-perishable that will hopefully last us if we are stuck in the house for several days with the roads being icy. Get some hamburger meat to cook spaghetti and chili beans tomorrow and Friday. That'll definitely keep, and then we can warm up any leftovers if we lose power. And thanks to our generator, we have all of the gas ready to go for that. I also stocked up on some bottled water and some distilled water. Our baby is formula fed, so we needed some more of that. And also dog food.
And I'm glad she asked. I'm gonna just show a few of the things I got. And if I showed you one, I probably got at least 10 of the items. That might have been an exaggeration, but you get what I mean. Canned soups, whole bunch of them. No, they're not all Campbell's, because Campbell's, we know what you're doing with the ingredients now. CEO talking about he don't want to eat his soups, whatever he said. So we couldn't do too much on you. But if it come down to it, you gotta do what you gotta do. I got some dried fruits, some mangoes, lighter fluid. This is for the grill. Got a few of them. This isn't food, but in case the power goes out, a bunch of baby wipes. And what you just seen in my hand ain't even all of it. The grill ain't gonna work with the lighter fluid without a lighter. I need lighters. I got a lot of lighters. Charcoal. That was too big. I didn't want to pick that up. Engine oil for the generator. No, I don't just have just one. I have a few. I got like 3 or 4 of them. Gas for the generator. You may be wondering, what do I need a generator for? In the event the power goes out, that generator is going to power my refrigerator. It can power my microwave, provide me heat because I can plug in an electric heater into the generator. I already checked the wattage. It's good. I have extension cords that go from outside because you don't need the generator don't put the generator in the house. It's going outside with a long extension cord. Yeah, water. Lots of water. Because even though we have water that comes out purified or filtered in the kitchen, if the pipes freeze, might not be no water coming in. So we got water that's already out. It's ready. Room temperature. How I like it. Everything I just showed you ain't even all of it. Point is, you can eat it cold. You can eat all this cold. Crackers, soups, as long as you got a can opener, you should be okay. Bread, it might go bad depending on what type of bread you get. After a while, you're gonna have to eat that fast. Things like that are good. You want to buy things that aren't going to rot, y'all. When you go to the store, if it's gonna go bad in 3 to 4 days, reach for something else. There's likely a better alternative, unless you have a generator. Now I want to see what else y'all are buying for this preparation for this winter storm.
They say don't panic before a winter storm, but I absolutely panic.
They're already out of sourdough, not a good sign. Never seen these before. They look cool.
Meat. Canned.
Like 80.
Lunch of chips. Somebody here commented, wouldn't recommend getting these types of food, especially if the power goes out. Focus on pantry-friendly options for the storms. And she replied with, try to get a mix of things. Honestly, I understand both perspectives. Hopefully she has a generator for those meats, or she's planning on grilling them, because if they do just sit in the refrigerator, they do have a possibility of going bad. And I'm saying that about things like the milks, the yogurts, things like that a lot of people don't consider need to be refrigerated, but they like it and they buy it whenever they think the power is going to go out. We don't want y'all to get sick. Again, this might work for her, but maybe not for everybody, depending on what resources you have available to keep your food fresh. Now, though a lot of people are out right now trying to shop for this storm, there are stores that are empty. Look at this. It says when you try to get groceries before a snowstorm in Maryland, a lot of stuff out of stock because everybody had the same idea. Let's go to the store and make sure that we get everything we need. Now, this is another POV. It says attempting to go grocery shop before the snowstorm. Y'all, I went today. They said all we got as far as water is Dasani. And I tell y'all, I bursted out laughing because not even in a snowstorm, a winter storm, not even a fire, do people want to drink Dasani. That's crazy. But if the survival instincts kick in bad enough, you know, I'm sure the Dasani will be going too. That's how you know stuff is getting really real. And I need y'all to tell me what y'all are experiencing, because it's another video says editing the grocery store before a snowstorm in the South, really like a TV show. That's what it looks like. This looks like the apocalypse is upon us. This is, it's crazy. The amount of people who rushed out to the store today, I was one of them because I forgot a few things. And the stores might look like this where you live. Let me know, comment. Are the stores empty where you are? Today I went to H-E-B, it was fully packed. Shelves were fully stocked, minus the water. But I know in a lot of areas, you might not be getting a lot of shipments, and everyone in the city or the town is buying up everything. There's not enough supplies coming in to supply the demand. And it says this is a POV from the winter storm activities in the store in Mississippi. They got a bunch of stuff in this cart, so it must not be that bad in Mississippi. Now, I want to go over a few homeowner tips that might help everybody during this winter storm.
It's that time of year again where all of Texas is shutting down because the temperatures are dropping. But look, everybody's telling you what to do, but nobody's showing you how to do it. So yeah, I'm going to show you 5 ways on how to winterize your home before freeze. First, get a couple of these nylon insulator bags to cover your spigots. These are great because they don't fall apart over time like the styrofoam ones, and they do a better job at insulating. You also want to turn off your main sprinkler valve, which is usually located in the front of your home. Just pull up the cover and look for a pipe with a handle or a knob on it. You can use one of these little T-bars to turn the knob, which if you live in Texas and you don't have one, you're gonna wish you did. To stop the water from flowing, just turn the knob perpendicular to the pipe. Next thing you're gonna want to do is know where your main property shutoff is and how to open it in case of a pipe burst. You can do this with like a screwdriver or a hammer. Just insert the screwdriver all the way down the keyhole and push the screwdriver away from you to release the hatch. You can use the hammer to help you pry up the cover if you need. The knob at the bottom is what you would turn perpendicular in case of a pipe burst. If you're in a new construction home, they also have a main valve inside the home, either in a garage or in the laundry room. Just pull the handle perpendicular to stop all the flowing water in the home. Next, it is very important to drip all of the faucets before bed, especially the faucets that are closer to exterior walls. Just play with the handle a little bit until you get a consistent drip, and you can also open the cabinets under the sinks to allow the heat from the house to thaw the pipes. Lastly, charge all devices and power banks if you have them and keep extra batteries on hand. Make sure you have working flashlights. I got this cool one that charges when you crank it.
These are some really helpful tips. I'm more of a visual person, and I fear many of these tips may need to be applied for many of us. What's really getting me is someone commenting Ted Cruz already left Texas, so you know it's serious. And that's what I'm scared of. As soon as Ted Cruz left, they said he was on a plane going to Laguna Beach, allegedly. I said, oh, round 2? Round 2 or 3? So y'all pray for me. Pray for everybody in Texas, anybody being affected by this storm. I'm wishing you all well. I hope everybody stays safe, stay warm, and I hope that something in this video was helpful that you can apply during this winter storm. Winter Storm Fern, you old dirty hag. I don't like you already. And we ain't even met yet. We gotta start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.